What comes here now is a most sacred flame, and this flame anchors in the hearts and in the mind that we here in this moment, collectively beyond space and time, connect to this divine flame that has anchored in the hearts and the minds of those who can envision a higher world vision for our sacred planet. That those who sense and feel and know the fiery intelligence of the divine, this sacred fire, this flame that comes from the highest dimensional realms of light. This flame, a divine flame, a yod. At the time of the apostles, the flame that came on top of their higher chakras, that seven chakra moving in from the higher chakras that are invisible to this physical world. For the chakra system moves far beyond the physical, mental, and emotional bodies. In fact, the stream of the divine yod, the spark of the fiery intelligence of the divine, is pervasive throughout the multiverse, throughout all creations in the highest realms. It is but a spark of a much grander and magnificent flame of illumined light and radiance coming from the Azuluth worlds, the highest of worlds. So this sacred spark has come here now in this sacred moment. And within the spark, it is the higher heart of compassion of the Divine Mother that is here, that is present, and has made herself known to us. She comes as an illumined light and has been coming as an illumined light to the world for so long that her compassionate heart, the higher heart of compassion that gives forth grace and love, understanding and nurturing, bringing forth once again the mother principle that has been so oppressed, so distorted upon the physical, mental, and emotional world. For the distortion comes because it is aware of its power. It is aware that united with the divine masculine, a great and mighty foundation is established, and the ascension of things in the movement to the higher glory becomes possible. But no matter now, in the time of times, in the cycle of things, the divine sacred mother present is strong and gets stronger as each and every one holds her in our hearts to bring forth the fiery intelligence of the higher cosmos, of the paradise worlds, the ascended worlds, the worlds of Shambhala. These worlds established in peace and balance, in ever ascending glory. And so, in holy and sacredness, we hold gratitude to the Mother Principle, to the Divine Mother who has always been and always will be, to bring this loving energy, this nurturing energy back in its fullness upon the earth, to bring balance once again, and thereby establishing the perfect peace, the perfect balance. And so we breathe with intention as we breathe in this fiery intelligence that permeates in the very space where we are. And we see clearly this gift given by the Divine Mother in all of her expressions, her connection to us personally, her connection to the earth. And as she holds this space for us, as all those know gather, they gather from across the cosmic seas to establish this foundation for the children of light upon the earth who have not forgotten that as we breathe in the emanation of this sacred and powerful flame of illumined light, sourcing from the collective higher chakra system of the entire universe, now coming in the midst of us, igniting the sacred yod upon our crown chakra. And this yod upon the crown chakra is expansive, and it also triggers, integrates, and processes our 8th chakra system, now ready to be online, even as we walk a physical, mental, and emotional world. And so we breathe the sacred in-breath and out-breath, knowing that we breathe the breath of the divine. With each and every in-breath and out-breath, we breathe in and exhale the fiery intelligence of the divine. We breathe in the balance once again of divine feminine and divine masculine. We breathe in once again the perfect intention, the original plan, the original Eden. We breathe in the radiance of this sacred flame. It courses throughout our physical body, mental and emotional. It moves and pierces through the blockages, the distortions within our own energetic field. It moves and dislodges any type of implant, any type of blockage, any type of distortion from the original blueprint of the Autumn Kadmon. And so we now breathe in this fiery intelligence. We breathe it deep within ourselves, understanding and in knowing that each and every holy in-breath and out-breath is healing to us. Each and every holy in-breath and out-breath is purifying for us. Each and every in-breath and out-breath brings us into the higher alignment. Each and every sacred in-breath and out-breath connects us to our higher self. Each and every sacred in-breath and out-breath brings us into our higher parts of illumined selves, connected to the brilliance and the radiance of the radiant ones. And so we understand just how sacred, just how holy, and just how powerful our breath is. And as we breathe in the fiery intelligence of the upper worlds, held by the sacred mother and all the mothering energies, not only of this world, but beyond this world, beyond the solar system, beyond the great suns. For we understand it comes from the highest of the heavenly worlds, the upper worlds, the flaming worlds of light. And so, with great reverence, with this wisdom and understanding, we breathe in this sacred in-breath and out-breath, willingly, clearly, and engaged, to be that sentinel of light, to be that dynamic that holds the balance of male and female, to be that lightning rod that holds peace, to be that which brings forth the perfect balance. And so we breathe with intention. And as we breathe, we see that this yod, this flaming script that brings in the 8th chakra with the 7th chakra, moving now through the top of our heads into all aspects of our physical, mental, and emotional body, even as it expands, for it cannot be contained. And so we take this opportunity to be consumed in its light, consumed in its radiance, triggering and bringing into a great entrainment the very consciousness of ourselves, the very consciousness of our atomic and subatomic levels, for all respond to this radiance, to this illumination. And with grace and ease, we allow it to move in, through, and around us. Grateful for its healing properties. Grateful for bringing in the higher codes of the higher light worlds. Grateful for this profound interconnection of heaven and earth. And so we simply release in this loving embrace of the divine, this nurturing embrace of the mother. With grateful hearts, we understand how blessed we are beyond measure. And as this happens now, we know that we are here to be of service in the highest capacity that we can. And so it is through our earthly, physical, mental, and emotional bodies, as great roots seeking to the center of the earth. This now moves through our very grid system. It moves into the elements of what our physical bodies are made of, into the nervous system, into all the biological systems of the functioning biological body, which is interconnected, deeply connected to the earth. And so as we plant our consciousness on our feet, our body to the earth, we use ourselves as a great connector of heaven and earth. And we see that the yods, the flaming scripts of light, moving through our physical body, mental and emotional, moving deep into the earth like great roots. And we see clearly that this divine sacred energy moves through all the river systems, through all the lakes and through all the element of water. For as it moves through our own bodies, composed of water, so too does it run through the earth. And as all waters do connect, we see the great reservoirs of waters and wells deep within the earth. See it moving through frozen water. So the element of water brings this yod flame throughout the earth as it moves throughout our body, as it comes from the higher realms. We move it throughout the earth, seeing the brilliance of the yod, the fiery script intelligence held by the mother to move throughout the earth. It brings with it the calming, peaceful, balancing energies, the nurturing and the compassionate love of the mother as she moves throughout the earth, bringing comfort to the earth, bringing comfort to all life. And as it moves through the earth, it moves through all living things of the earth. For the element of water is the basic root of life for this sacred planet and for the solar system. And just as how our circulatory system moves the life force through our blood, pumps it throughout the entire body, so too now do we see the very grid system and circulatory system of the earth moves and is imbued with this flaming yod, this light script from the highest realms of light, using the children of the earth as the great mediators, as the great channelers, as the great mediums to bring to the earth. And as we move through this flaming script that brings great healing, that pierces through blockages, illusions, delusions, and miscreations, we see that the flaming yod, the flaming script, moves through our physical body, through the bone structure, the mineralizations of our bones, that carries the very DNA. The DNA which is part of a much larger cosmic DNA. And so through the crystallization, we move this into the great and mighty earth. We move it into the mineral kingdom through our bodies. And we see the mineral kingdom that holds the history, the mineral kingdom that can be programmed, now awakening to the higher program of the ascended realms, that its properties are used for the ascended realms of light, and that its misuse can no longer be. As we hold the flaming yod script light moving into the crystalline system, the structure of the mineral kingdom, that its sacred geometries, its conditioning and program aligns with the higher vision of the divine, of the illumined light of the mother, compassionate, peaceful, balanced. And we see this Yod script move upon all the kingdoms of the earth. It moves upon the very genesis of the plant kingdom, its holy order, its sacred mission, once again, being illumined and online with the original Eden. And so we see the plant kingdom with the fiery intelligence of the Yod script held by the mother to bring nourishment, to bring back into sacred balance the divine feminine and the divine masculine to the plant kingdom, bringing in once again the symbiotic relationships, bringing in once again the genesis of the Eden to the plant kingdom. And we see that the divine sacred Yod that moves through the very tissues of our body, that moves through the very organs of our body, that the consciousness in whatever crystalline form it is touched by the sacred Yod script of light held by the mother to bring forth healing, balance, purification, and peace. So as we are used and surrendered to this love, it is our honor, it is our grace to pass it on to the sacred earth and all of her life. And so our thoughts go to the animal kingdom, to pierce through the distortion of the animal kingdom and the distortion between the animal and the human kingdom, to bring back the symbiotic relationship of kingdoms, intertwined, interconnected, and in oneness, each kingdom supporting the other as one. So we see the suffering of the animal kingdom, the distortion of the animal kingdom, now becoming illumined with the light of the sacred Yod script, bringing back the memory, the program of the sacred Eden. And we hold our connection to the animal kingdom, our shared bond and unity in bringing the illumined, fiery light of intelligence back to the original thought form of the animal kingdom. And finally, now, we bring our attention and intention back again to the human kingdom. And we think of the great Adam Kadmon, the divine human. We hold the cosmic memory through the flaming Yod, through the fiery script of the original Eden, to the human kingdom that has forgotten. We hold this sacredness of humanity upon the earth, this sacred role of caregiver, guardian, and steward. We hold the flaming script to the minds and hearts of humans who have forgotten this divine role, the sacredness of the earth, the agreements, the commitments, and the collaborations. We hold once forth the fiery intelligence to open up the cosmic memory of those who have forgotten, to pierce through the manipulation and the distortions, to pierce through the blockages, to pierce through into the illumined light of the fiery yod, the higher intelligence and wisdom that the Divine Mother holds as she moves upon the earth now, as she did with the fiery yod of the divine Shekinah presence. And so we hold this great illumination, this brilliant light and fiery intelligence of the divine upon the earth. We hold our position and we are focused in holding this higher grace upon the earth through the fiery yod, held by the Divine Mother to bring forth peace, to bring forth balance, to bring forth once again the illumination of the divine Eden, that the tree of life springs forth once again in great illumination, strength and power to bring light and wisdom upon the world. And so we hold our positions as we allow this sacred yod, fiery script of the Mother, move into the hearts and minds of humans, move into the hearts of all life, consciousness of all life. And as we hold this sacred holy space, with grateful hearts, we thank the Divine Mother, all the radiant ones, the higher worlds, the Amishadai, the family of light, who have allowed this to happen. We are graced to serve, and we are blessed beyond measure for the blessings that come to us. And for some, we would stay like this and never want to leave. But the time has come for the return, for there is much to be done. We see once again the brilliance of the fiery yod, which has consumed us totally, that we are, in fact, these yods of light. And we hold its essence deep within us. And as we walk upon the earth, we bring light. We bring the cosmic memory. We bring the Adam Kadmon to those that we encounter, to those situations we find ourselves. We carry the light as the Divine Mother carries the light of peace, of balance, and of oneness. And so we begin now to draw in our electromagnetic field as we see this source light begin to retract, going back to its source, but leaves its essence behind. That will continue to work in the days and weeks to come to build, to create new platforms, to bring us back into the alignment of the sacred Eden. So as we draw in our electromagnetic field, so too all the radiant ones begin to draw in theirs. We intend to be back in our body fully and very grounded. And on the count of 3, we will be back, awake, alert, and fully grounded to the earth. 1, 2, take a deep breath in. And 3, we are back, awake, alert, and we are grounded.